Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today is the final installment of the 30 inks 30 days challenge that I have done in September using only Birmingham Pen Company inks / ink mixes that I pulled from their website. So far I have tried a range of colors, being those that are a bit darker, a bit murkier, some a bit lighter, some a bit brighter. I feel like I've tried a really great range. But ending off in this 30 days, I have another mix of a couple of brights, a couple of dusties, and definitely a lot of darks. So without further ado, let me go ahead and start with day number 23. I think 23? Nope, 24. And day 24, I decided to do Phoenix by Birmingham Pen Company. This was the brightest yellow that I could find on their website, at least that had a mix attached to it. And the mixing solution for this is 1 part Tiger Lily and 3 parts dilution solution. I absolutely adored the color of this. I decided to ink it up into my Leonardo Memento Zero Golden Abalone. I love how the yellow kind of pulled out the yellow sparkles in that pen. And surprisingly, this was a very legible yellow. It reminded me a lot of Rohrer and Klingner's Helianthus, just a bit, like a tad smidge, whatever, more orange. It doesn't show as super yellow as I was expecting. It definitely has a bit more of an orange lean to it, which makes sense considering the main color in this is an orange ink. Flow-wise, this was fantastic. It wrote beautifully. I love the different aspects of the shading that it had, and that it had this kind of like little halo thing going on. Really great color. Really happy to have a bright yellow that I can mix at any time that will work really, really great. For Wednesday, day 25, I decided to do a brighter blue from the ink catalog, and I chose Wood Duck, which is, I think, one of their more recent releases. And the look online was a bit more of like a blurple, and I would say that this ink has a slight blurpleness to it, but it is still pretty firmly like a deeper cornflower blue color. I decided to ink this up into my Pilot Kakuno Transparent Green. This has a medium nib, and it did okay. I love Pilot Kakunos. They're a great workhorse pen, but I did have some trouble getting this one to start, so I think I just didn't clean my pen well enough. Anyways, the mix of this one is 2 parts sterling silver, 1 part electron, 1 part saltwater taffy, and 1 part snapdragon. So we got some pinks, a blue, and then some gray. And I definitely think this ink showcases all of those colors in that it is a range of like a softer blue with a little bit of a pink hue, but not quite strong enough to be considered truly a blurple or a blue-purple color. Really like this one. The flow turned out great after I did get the pen started, and I think I would happily ink this up again. For day 26, I decided to go with another brown from their collection called Roadrunner, which again, I think is one of their more newer releases. I decided to put this into my 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and I think this is a really great match for this pen, first off. But the pen has a fine nib, and this was such a dream to write with. I really, really, really enjoyed it. The color is definitely more of a medium orangey brown. It has a slight green sheen around the edges, and it just really behaved beautifully in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 pen, which I was really happy with. And the mix of this one is 2 parts saltwater taffy, 1 part hibiscus, and 1 part tiger lily. And overall, I think I would happily get a bottle of this one because I really did enjoy writing with it quite a lot. And then for day 27, I wanted to try an ink called Zucchini. If you're not new to this channel, you will know that I love my off black colors, specifically when they go green or purple. And this is definitely one of those green blacks, and I love it. On camera, it's showing off very black, but in person, it does have a slight green lean to it, which I really, really like. And I decided to ink this up into my Platinum 3776 Laurel Green. And I think, as you can see with the pen next to it, the ink comes off a bit more green, almost to the exact shade, I think, of the pen body itself, which I was really, really pleasantly surprised about. The mix of this one is pretty simple in that it is 1 part electron, 1 part gunpowder, 1 part tiger lily, and 1 part ladybug. And I really like how this looks. I like the slight off green tinge. I like how dark it is. I think it's a great everyday ink. And again, I think I would buy a bottle of this one and ink it up in this pen again, which is saying something because this pen has a 14 karat soft fine nib that that is horrible when it comes to dry inks. It needs really wet inks to flow beautifully, and this combination did absolutely fantastic. Then for day 28, I wanted to try one of the more popular inks. I think it's also one of their older inks, and it was called Waterfront Dusk. The combination of this one is 1 part gunpowder, 1 part saltwater taffy. And I decided to ink this up into my Leonardo Memento Zero Grande 2.0 in Sunflower with an extra fine steel nib. And the pen and ink do not match whatsoever, but the combination and the writing experience was absolutely lovely. I really have been enjoying the extra fine nib on my Leonardo. I think it's crisp and clean, and it's very thin, and I honestly just love the weight and size of that pen as well, because I can just write for days with it, even though it is a very large pen. The color of Waterfront Dusk, though, was a very dark purple, almost purple black, but still pretty, like almost like deep maroon purple, deep Tyrian purple. Definitely has a bit of a red lean to it, but it is really, really pretty. And I definitely would ink this pairing up again, or just remake this ink again, because it was really nice. Again, off black kind of color. And then for the second to last day of my 30 inks 30 days, day 29, I decided to try out Pop Art Purple, which is a combination of 1 part electron and 4 parts saltwater taffy. And I decided to ink this up into my 𝗂𝗃𝗄 Iridescent Pearl with a medium nib. This is my favorite pen to put purple inks in. And yeah, this was a dream. This was so, so lovely. I think the ink on camera is coming off a bit more blue, because in person it is pretty firmly like purple, like very purple Crayola marker purple. It's very purple in person, and on camera it's coming off a bit more blue, but the combination of these two is great. I love the flow of the medium nibs on the 𝗂𝗃𝗄, especially because they're a bit drier, so they turn out a bit more fine in writing. I don't know, I was just really pleasantly surprised with how well these behaved together, and how much I enjoyed just having a nice standard purple color that was pretty flat all the way throughout. And then for day 30, I decided to end it off on another red ink, since I seem to have been enjoying those quite a bit lately. And I decided to try out Prickly Pear and put it in my Esterbrook SD Tortoise, which is my favorite SD. This has a fine nib on it. And this was really a pleasant surprise on how much I loved the color, honestly. So this is another what I consider like off black color in some areas. It is a red black, it's a deep maroon, it's a bloody color. Reminds me a lot actually of one of the inks I've been obsessed with recently, which is Robert Oster's Blood Moon, and that it is kind of like that off red black color again, like deeper like bloody color. I know that sounds kind of gross, but it was a really, really great combination. And the Esterbrook SD Fine Nib I think is my ultimate favorite pen right now, just because it's a dream to write with and I always have a great time, and yeah, I cannot complain about this combination. Overall, again, I am very happy, very satisfied with all of the colors that I chose for this challenge. It was a lot of fun getting to play with a bunch of different inks from the same brand as well, especially getting to make my own mixes, well, actually following the recipes of the mixes, but this just gives me inspiration of if there's a color that I'm really wanting to create, I definitely know I can make it with the Atominks that I have from Birmingham Pen Company. I'm going to quickly flip through all of the different colors I did in their full page sheets. I don't know if I could pick some absolute favorites. I don't know, there were so many that were really, really great that I really enjoyed. And I definitely think that no matter what color I would pick from Birmingham Pen Company, I'm going to have a good time, because I don't think I had a single ink and pen pairing that was awful, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think there was a single one that I just was like, nope, never inking that together again, or nope, never using that pen or that ink again. Like, every single pen and ink pairing did really great, and I guess that's something that I really like about Birmingham Pen Company, because I don't think I've ever had that experience with another ink brand. Like Diamine, there's hits and misses. Colorverse, there's hits and misses. Wear Angle, there's hits and misses. I've never had an ink brand that I've just loved or appreciated, I guess, every single color. And this is definitely a brand that I've never had any problems with, which I can say is pretty surprising. If I had to pick a favorite from just like the last segment, the last week. I'd probably say honestly Wood Duck and Zucchini and Roadrunner. Okay, that's like 3 favorites. I really liked Prickly Pear, I really liked Pop Art Purple, and I really liked Waterfront Dusk, but I think I just wasn't in the mood for these colors right now. Roadrunner was really, really great. Zucchini, I want to make this like my everyday writer now. And then Wood Duck was just the most beautiful, like soft blue that was still really bright and deep at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, lots of really great ones for this challenge, and I can't complain. I'm really, really happy with the ones I chose. Really, really happy with this brand, and may do this again in the future. I don't know if I'd be willing to ink up 30 pens and do 30 ink mixes again. Maybe just have them already kind of just in my collection and randomly choose. I don't know, but mixing them all was fun. It just took a bit of a time-consuming project. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching, for joining me for this challenge. If you started at the beginning and followed through with the segments of videos that I did, thank you so much. I really appreciate you following along. And I also hope you maybe found some Birmingham Pen Company inks that you hadn't seen before, or that you wanted to see what looked like in full pages or in swatches or whatever, because I know that's something that I really look forward to when I'm trying out new inks, is seeing what other people's pages look like with it, or what it looks like before I would make a purchase. Anyways, again, thank you so much for watching, for joining, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.